we got to talk about a controversial, to say the very least, social media post that President Trump put out on Truth Social last night. That is, I think most people would just say is pretty racist and is ruffling some people's feathers. Even Republicans and conservatives are not happy with what the president posted. But there's layers to this story that get interesting as well here. So without further ado, I'll just read you the headline here from Mediaite. Trump posts video depicting Barack and Michelle Obama as apes. And then you can see the image from this video. It's like a AI / crude Photoshop that shows them both in put on. Are those apes? Are they gorillas? I don't know. I'm not a what would you even call that? A biologist or an animal expert. Anyway, the story here reports President Donald Trump shared a 2020 election conspiracy video to Truth Social on Thursday night that briefly depicts former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama as apes. The 62-second video, shared at 11:44 p.m. Eastern, is largely focused on pushing a conspiracy about manipulated vote counting machines that projected former President Joe Biden would win states like Georgia. But an AI clip spliced into the end of the video shows the faces of the Obamas superimposed on apes' bodies for roughly a second, accompanied by the token song "The Lion Sleeps Tonight." The clip carries a watermark linked to a pro-Trump account on X with tens of thousands of followers. Now, guys, I'm pretty sure it's actually the same account, and we talked about this at the time, that made the AI slop video that showed President Trump like flying over the No Kings protesters and dumping literal human, I guess we don't know if it was human feces, it could have been other feces, on libs, like on, including Harry Sisson, the liberal TikToker. And I said at the time that was crazy, like that was so unhinged to have the president posting videos showing him literally dumping poop on his constituents, on the American people, just because they were protesting him. And you could say it's just a meme, haha, whatever, it's just AI slop. And I guess that I would maybe be with you if it was just some rando on Twitter, but we're talking about the president of the United States, right? And I still have some, call me crazy, call me old-fashioned, call me a pearl clutcher. I do have some standards of civility and decency and decorum that President Trump does not live up to and really doesn't even try to live up to at this point. So obviously Democrats called out Trump over this post. Here is Gavin Newsom, quote, "Disgusting behavior by the president. Every single Republican must denounce this now." But it was not just Democrats, so this isn't super partisan. I think most good-hearted people, left or right, who love or hate Trump, can see this post and be like, "Hey, let's actually not do this. Let's actually not compare black people to monkeys or apes or anything like that." It is obviously something with a long history and a pretty dark history in this country in terms of racism against black people and dehumanizing them in different ways. And honestly, just like let it go, dude. They're not relevant. Leave them alone. Why are you posting unhinged dozens of posts late at night anyway? Seriously, why are you doing that? But the Republican Senator Tim Scott, who is, of course, a black man, posted on X and said of this post that he was, quote, "praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House." He added that the president should remove it. Now, as of today at noon, so Friday at noon, and this was posted last night, and the White House has been bombarded with criticism and all of this, and we'll get to their response. It's not removed. Bizarre to me. Like, why wouldn't you? If it's not just angering your opponents who are going to get angry whether you do something wrong or not, it's also angering your friends and allies. Maybe that should cause you to reflect and be like, wait, maybe I did go too far. Maybe I shouldn't have posted this. Why not just take it down? It really seems like the bare minimum to me. I do find it funny how quickly some people just like showed that they'll just defend anything and they'll pivot however is necessary. So there's this guy who I guess is a comedian, but is like a MAGA slop commentator. And his name is Terrence K. Williams. And he wrote, "Fake news alert. Trump didn't post this monkey video of the Obamas. Lying Democrats. It's not on his page. Fake screenshot." Of course, it was on his page, and you can look at the Internet Archive. It's still actually on his page on Truth Social. This guy just didn't know how to find it. And so people pointed this out to him, and he got community noted, and instead he changed his tune, and Terrence wrote on X, "It's not racist. I stand with Trump. As a black man, I'm not offended by this at all. It's an hilarious video of white and black Democrats in the jungle. Watch the video on his Truth Social post." So first it was fake and not real and Democrats are liars. Then, oh shit, it is real. I guess I had to say it's not racist. I don't know, man. Is there anything he could post that you would be like, yeah, that's racist? It seems to me that folks like this just are pandering and are kind of shameless about it. Of course, the White House is already being pressed to respond, and Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, God, to be press secretary in general is a terrible job that just debases the soul, but especially to be Trump's press secretary and just have like to defend the most wild, out of left field stuff must be kind of a nightmare. Anyway, here is how Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, responded. White House shrugs off, quote unquote, fake outrage over Trump posts depicting Obamas as apes. Responding on Friday, Leavitt defended the post in a comment to PBS and said the controversial clip was from a meme that had depicted Trump as king of the jungle over other lawmakers. This is a direct quote from Caroline Leavitt here. Quote, "This is from an internet meme video depicting President Trump as the king of the jungle and Democrats as characters from The Lion King. Please stop the fake outrage and report on something today that actually matters to the American public." So there are a couple things to say here. First, I've never actually seen The Lion King, but I don't think there are apes in it. And so that's not really an explanation that makes sense. And regardless, you could just not post depictions of your political opponents as AI slop animals that happen to coincide with racist tropes. In fact, here's a crazy thought. Trump could just not post on Truth Social at all. He could put down the phone and stop the late night posting sprees where he's sharing all these insane conspiracies and videos and just if your grandparent was posting like this, you'd be concerned. You would be absolutely concerned. And then to say it's just fake outrage and the media should report on something that the public actually cares about doesn't seem fair to me, because I think people can be genuinely concerned about a post like this, especially when you think about the fact that you have black Republicans like Tim Scott explicitly calling this out as racist and wrong, and that Trump, to his credit, built a significantly more diverse electoral coalition and brought in voters who are black or Hispanic or other different minority groups and what have you. And it's actually not a great way to keep that coalition around to do unnecessary racially inflammatory things like this that advance no goal, they help you in no way, and just upset people and cause tension. So I don't think it's fake outrage. I do think it probably matters to a significant number of people that President Trump posts like this. You could say it's probably baked into the equation for people who support him at this point, but that's not really a substantive defense and doesn't address the fact that it could alienate people that he's recently added to his constituency. So listen, I don't really expect Caroline Leavitt to say anything different. It's her job to defend the indefensible. That is the task of the White House press secretary in every administration. But I'm not buying these excuses. I don't think it's difficult to say the president should not be posting racist AI slop on social media, or actually shouldn't be posting any AI slop on social media at all. Somebody just needs to take the keys away to his Truth Social, like delete it from his phone. You know, I don't believe in this. I actually think this is bad, but I've seen like liberal adults post with elderly parents who are like boomer Republicans post about how they like put the parental controls on and banned Fox News, like restricted Fox News from their parents' TVs, and then won't tell them how to fix it. I actually think that's, while it's funny, it's actually messed up and you don't have a right to do that. But like low-key, someone should do that with Trump with Truth Social. So he can't go on there. He can't see the crazy AI slop and he can't just repost it, because the president of the United States. I mean, Trump is literally the most powerful and famous person in the world. And his words and his posts carry a lot of weight and make international headlines, yet he continues to operate with such disregard for that reality. And I've said this before, I mean, not so much this second term, because I disagree with a lot more of what he's done, and I think he's pushed harder and in more extreme ways, to be sure. But in Trump's first term, at least before the pandemic, I think he would have been fairly popular if he just hadn't tweeted and hadn't said controversial stuff, just the actual policies that he implemented. I think a majority of the public would have supported the presidency, but he just can't help himself. And I guess things sometimes never change. So that's my take on this controversy, but I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you think as well. Do hit the like button. Do make sure you're subscribed if you aren't yet. And that'll be it for today's episode of the Brad versus Everyone podcast. I'm going to wrap it up a little early today because I've worked quite hard this week and am ready for the weekend. So with that, guys, we'll talk again real soon.